What's going on, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with the Wraparound. We're going to be breaking down the NHL action going down on Sunday, October 13th, 2024. If you like this content, make sure you smash that thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. If you're looking for my best bets, including my daily $15 best bet, head to Pickdawgz.com and click the Premium Picks tab at the top of the page. Also, make sure you let me know your NHL picks in the comment section below. Well, we get back to the Wraparound. We had a busy day with the Saturday card, whether it was college football or NHL. Didn't have the best day with the NHL. We had some mixed results, but I keep telling everybody, sometimes there's going to be good days, there's going to be really good days, and there's going to be some days where we're off. But I can't stress it enough. We got to use this first couple weeks as these teams play their first 5 or so games to get a sample size of sort of where these teams are headed. Some teams are going to have slumps to start the year, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit as well. But just got to take it day by day. Sunday's card, it's a little bit tricky with how many teams played yesterday, and a lot of teams having back-to-backs. We're going to try and navigate through them. So without further ado, you guys know the drill. You ready? I'm ready. Let's get into it. Our first game comes to us from the Canada Life Arena, where the Winnipeg Jets take on the Minnesota Wild. The Wild, the team had the back-to-back yesterday, while while the Jets got to relax a little bit. And I think that's going to be the key here. I do think that Connor Hellebuck's likely going to get the start for the Winnipeg Jets here, considering that after this game, the Winnipeg Jets, this Winnipeg team is off until, I was trying to pull it up here, off until the 18th when they host the San Jose Sharks. So, there's going to be a bit of a layoff here. So I think they're going to try to just put their number one in and, get him some work so that, he's not fully rusty over a week. But Minnesota, on the other hand, they did start Marc-Andre Fleury in the loss to Seattle on Saturday. Now it's a back-to-back spot with obviously no rest in between, but off of an overtime game that needed a shootout when all was said and done. And this was a Wild team that was almost hitting at just above 33% when it was coming to being on the second end of a back-to-back last season. So I'm going to take the Winnipeg Jets in this one. Like I said, I just trust the goaltending more. And even though the game for Winnipeg against Chicago wasn't that pretty, where they needed overtime to beat the lowly Chicago Blackhawks, I still think the Jets get it done here. So give me Winnipeg. Now we head to the American Airlines Center, where the Dallas Stars take on the Seattle Kraken, and both teams playing on Saturday, so no real rest advantage here. The advantage for the Dallas Stars is that they do get to play at home, but I'm not looking to lay minus 200 or even chase a regulation or puck line play with the Dallas Stars when Casey DeSmith is likely going to be the starter here. I didn't love Casey DeSmith when he was in Pittsburgh, didn't like him when he was in Vancouver last year, and I prefer not to back the Stars unless he's going to show me that he could stand on his head and be a 1-2 punch alongside Ottinger, kind of like what Boston had with Ullmark and Swayman last year. Not looking to lay this price here, but I'm also not looking to back the Seattle Kraken. They're coming off of that overtime win over the Minnesota Wild, and now we see Philip Grubauer here. And I actually think that Joey Daccord is the better goaltender for the Seattle Kraken. At least that's how it's looked early on this season. I'm actually impressed with what I saw from Daccord last season as well. So I'm going to go with the over 6 in this one. I think that we're going to see some goals here. I do like what the Dallas Stars have from a depth perspective offensively. Jonathan Wynn was just about how inept the Islanders were offensively in that game. And I think, like I said, with DeSmith getting the start here, I'm looking for some goals in this one. So give me the over 6. Now we head to Rogersville of Alberta between the Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames. Now the Edmonton Oilers, we talk about, or at least in the intro, I was talking about teams that were slumping to start the year. Oh boy, I've been wrong with the Edmonton Oilers twice, and I am done getting burned by this team in their current hangover after losing the Stanley Cup last year. I thought coming into this season with all the stuff that we saw from Connor McDavid in the offseason and right after Edmonton had lost the Stanley Cup final, that Edmonton was going to come out with their hair on fire and come out with a point to prove, but it has not shaped out that way. I was trying to say shaken and shaped out, and it came out shaped, or shaped, sorry, but this Calgary team, even though they've had, questionable goaltending in spots, you wouldn't be able to tell because of the offense. 6 goals in each of their first 2 games. They beat Vancouver. They took down Philly without much of a sweat. Now, we do go back to Dan Vladar here, who was a little bit shaky early on in that game against Vancouver, but I still think Vladar can have a solid enough start here. I am just not looking to lay this kind of price with an Edmonton Oilers team that's slumping in a rivalry game. these two teams don't like each other. And that's safe to say. These matchups can get very, very physical. And we talk a lot of times where, it sounds cliche, but you can throw the record book out the window. I think even if this game was priced like this later on in the season, if the Flames were struggling, I would still take a shot here. So I'm going to take I'm going to take the Calgary Flames in this one, plus the 1.5, and I'm going to put someone on the money line here, plus 225. And our final game comes to us from the T-Mobile Arena, where the Vegas Golden Knights take on the Anaheim Ducks. And both teams coming into this one, looking to really instill some momentum. And the Ducks played their first game of the season on Saturday. It was a 2-0 win over San Jose, and Vegas had the night off. And that's obviously why you're seeing this line priced the way it is. Vegas at home historically has been a solid bet. Anaheim, though, they did take 3 of the 4 meetings between these two teams last season, including a 4-1 meeting in Vegas. But that was a game where Vegas had already punched their ticket. They were really just focusing on the postseason, and it was the final game of the season, so give Anaheim credit for taking advantage of the situation. But at its core, when these two teams are on an even playing field with really no motivation, I shouldn't say no motivation, but no contributing factors to the level of motivation here, and it's just a regular season game, Vegas, for me, is just heads and shoulders the better team. They have flat out owned the Ducks in this matchup. They've won 23 of the last 31 meetings between these two, including 13 of the last 16 in Vegas. And not only that, but it's a backup situation here on a back-to-back for the Anaheim Ducks, who were not good in the second half of the back-to-back last season against a rested Golden Knights team that has been on fire offensively out of the gate. I think it's a lot too little here. I'm going to take the Vegas Golden Knights on the puck line in this one to round things out. That's it. That's all the NHL action for Sunday, October 13th, 2024. Again, if you like this content, make sure you smash that thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And make sure that you let me know your NHL picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my daily $15 best bet, head to pickdawgz.com. Remember, use that promo code PICK at checkout for an additional 15% off your purchase. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon.